Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. We back in business, Baltimore. What we got going on? Let me set up everything. Y'all be patient with me for a second. Show some patience. They say it's a virtue. Patience is a virtue, y'all. Give me one quick second so I can get into everything. Make sure I can read these comments, because this is live. Live, baby. Hold on. Yeah, I'm on deck. I see everything. Turn this volume all the way down. Yeah, baby. Y'all know what it is now. Y'all know what it is. We got something new going on, man. We got something new. So, this the Let's Get To It show. And that's a tour with a you, because I always got you in mind. So, if you don't mind, let me break it down for you. Because you ain't never heard nothing like this before. And at the end of the day, it's all for you. It's really all for you. And y'all my go-getters. Let's go. And I am King Sam the Powerful, the biggest hater this side of Texas. I talk reckless. So if you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Matter of fact, y'all can't handle the truth. Court is in session. Let's get to it with my middle finger reviews. My middle finger reviews is my unfiltered takes on everything from music to movies. Ooh, wee, ah la la. Let's get to it. First, we're going to start off with a recap from last week. You know, we're going to let the battalion hard on the female high school track star. We're going to let that go, because that's old news. That's old news. So, you know, I like to get into all topics. I want to get into all topics. So let me, I did talk about the relationships that people have with their kids. Sometimes, your kids might deviate from what you gave them, and you might have to cover for them. You might have to try to protect them, even though you know they wrong. Even though you know they not living up to the expectations that even you might have put the expectations on them. So they not living up to those expectations, so we cover for them. I gave an example of myself. I remember I was being, out of control, for lack of better words. I was not lacking in school, not lacking in the extracurricular, but I was trying to fit in. I was trying to find myself, so I was trying to do things that I knew better than, but I wound up being in the wrong crowds, doing the wrong things, landing myself in trouble, destroying my opportunities that I had already had before me. And who stepped up to bat? My mother. My mother stepped up to bat, y'all. She was there for me when nobody else was. And she was trying to get people to go lenient on me, trying to get people, the community, to rally behind me. And I know what I did. I didn't deserve it. I may have deserved a second chance, but I was dead wrong. I did those things I was being charged with. I did those felonious acts. So it's like I was wrong, but my parent, my mother, still stepped up for me. So when you see things such as that, where you have LeBron James, standing out there, challenging Stephen A. Smith in front of the world, you got to look into it. Everybody, man, he ain't supposed to do that. But why not? Why not? And then, my last topic I got into was, is our culture dangerous? And, I did get to the barbershop. I worked a full week last week. When it gets summertime, when it warm up, I warm up. My job warm up. We working extra hours. I'm getting extra money out here in this world. I get to pay all my bills on time when the summertime come. Y'all know how it is. Then you get to stack a little something up for when it get cold. Got to do like the squirrels do. Stack your stuff to the side. Bury your acorns, just in case you might need one later on when you get in the pinch. So, I delved into, a lot of people think the rap business is one of the most dangerous occupations. They think, the urban culture as we know it is dangerous. And when I went to the barbershop yesterday, big shout out. Y'all see what's going on. Elite's Pro Barbershop right there on 368 Demi Boulevard. They got 3 barbers in there. Y'all should know them by now. You got Newt, that's Eric Davis. You got Ray. Then you got Mook in there in the back. You got Connie Styles doing hair, all sorts of, she's styling. She back there. If you need braids, you need anything done in your hair, you show up right there, and there's a peaceful atmosphere. But I want to get into that topic and close this one out because I don't think hip hop, rap, urban culture is necessarily dangerous. I think that people within it do chaotic things and it becomes dangerous because what you're participating in. Like what they say, you play silly games, you win silly prizes. So, I think that's right and exact. Because if you sitting up there doing the most, antagonizing, going above and beyond to disrespect people and they fallen comrades and stuff like that, when people do get the chance to see you, it kind of puts you in a, in a rock and a hard place. Because now it becomes about, are you what you say you were? When we wasn't face to face, you was saying this and that. Here I am. And from there you being challenged, so either you step up or you get stepped on. So it's like, a lot of times you didn't have to say that. Just because you got a mic in front of you, just because you got a platform to speak, there's other things for you to talk about. You can talk about what you got going on. Like somebody was saying it the other day, you go on Vlad TV, you talk about everything. These is rap artists, hip hop artists. They got music, but they go on Vlad TV and they don't get to none of their music. All they talk about is the neighborhood beefs and who they got problems with. So it's like, are you choosing your moves wisely? Are you being strategic? There's some iced tea, y'all. Early today, I had some Newport News iced tea. It was a concoction that I came up with, y'all. And it had beverages inside the beverage, if y'all understand what I'm saying. But I'm going to go ahead and put the close to the parenting thing. And I'm going to give a thumbs up for parents who support their children, even if they wrong. Because like I said, I've been in a situation where my mother has stood behind me in the time of need. And if she wouldn't have, who would have? If she wouldn't have been there to support me, nobody would. I would have been alone. So, I was thankful. And I'm not saying that I'm necessarily right or wrong, but I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. And now, with the situation with the people doing the clout chasing and they doing the most, this is the middle finger review. And if it ain't a good thing, it's a bad thing. So I'm going to give that 2 middle fingers up. 2 middle fingers up for those doing the most. For those who need to relax. For those disrespecting. For those getting beside themselves. Not being about what they talking about, but always in the mix trying to stir up something with the clownish behavior. I'm going to give you 2 middle fingers up. That's what the middle finger review is all about. If I don't like it, I'm going to give you 2 middle fingers up. And I'm coming from a place of love. These middle fingers is meant with love. But yeah. Ooh, wee, wee. Ah, la, la. Ooh, wee, wee. I say, ooh, la, la. Ooh, wee, wee. I say Muhammad Ali. Y'all don't know about that, man. That's nice and smooth. That's nice and smooth, man. That's I'm showing my age when I go back to stuff that I grew up on, man. Nice and smooth is funky. All you hip hop junkies, all we wanna do. Y'all check them out, man. That music helped make me who I am because you know it was what was poured into me. It was what I ingested as a youth coming up. And maybe I ain't the best, but I think I'm well rounded with a lot of experience and a lot of words, a lot of jewels to share, a good unique take on life that you can apply, repeat and apply again, and you may find some success out here. You may find some peace out here. So yeah, we're gonna continue on with this middle finger review. And like I was saying, I was in a barber shop and we was talking about this, and the guy was like, yeah, man, no. And I was like, it ain't dangerous, man. Because you making a conscious decision to do. Just like when you was cutting up as a youth. You knew better. Your mama instilled something better in you. If your mama didn't and your teachers tried to pour something in you, your neighbors tried to pour something in you, and maybe even your friends. But somebody was there, but you chose to disregard that. And you chose to follow what you thought. And he was saying, nah, man, but they'll get the girls. And I'm like, get the girls? How you get girls? You know what? I get it. So sort of, I don't know for real. I don't know that you necessarily need any attire or any trappings to obtain a girl, because if you obtaining her because you got gold teeth in your mouth, she in love with your gold teeth. She ain't in love with you. If she, attracted to you because you got money, she don't like you. She like your money. So at the end of the day, like maybe she not for you. Maybe she not for you. And it's like, I never thought of you. I never thought you needed anything. I grew up with my father. He was very confident. And just watching him, I kind of followed his lead. And, I never felt like you needed any specific thing. Just had the confidence to approach somebody. She has the option to say yes or no. She has the option to listen to you or disregard you or tell you go about your business. Bye, boy, bye. She got the option to do all that type of stuff. But my brother on the line, I'm going to disregard his call right now because I'm live. I'm live. I'm going to hit him back after the live. So, hold on. Let me see what's going on. I'm going to hit that and come back to that. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back up in my app to make sure my lights is on. They bright. Y'all. Y'all see what's going on, man. I ain't got to tell you. I know you see it. I know you see it. Look what's going on, man. Look at the ambiance, man. This design here, man. Somebody, this is love put into this. Because, this ain't all me. You seeing my wife work right here. You see the color scheme going on. You see this original art in the background going on. I ain't do this by myself, man. You can't succeed by yourself. You need a team. You need a team. If you think you're going to be out here winning without teamwork, man, you delusional. But yeah, like we was talking, I was saying, that's why a lot of, my mother and father separated, but I did get a chance to be around my father. And I did get to pick up certain things from him. He ain't even tell me. I was just watching, soaking it in like a sponge. Because that's what children do. They soak stuff in. And if you don't know nothing else, this is all you got to go by. So even if you're not doing it purposely, you may be subconsciously soaking in everything you seeing. So, that was the importance of a father, because it instilled a confidence in me that I felt like I didn't need to act a certain way to be accepted. I didn't need to wear certain clothes to be chose, or, be able to approach a female that I was attracted to. I didn't need that type of stuff. And I don't think nobody does. Because after all that, the initial goes away, then you left with who you are. Like, you can't wear, what, you gonna wear your chain? You gonna come with a bag of money every time you see something. Sooner or later, you gonna run out. That chain gonna get old. That car gonna get, is it 2025 now? In a couple of years, it's gonna be old news. So it's like, if you using that type of stuff, if it ain't your authentic self, then, sooner or later, she gonna see you for who you really are, and then she'll have to decide if she's still attracted to that. And I think that's a lot of times people come into problems because, they're using a false sense of whatever it is they hide behind a facade. And when people get to see behind the curtain, they don't like what they see because you're not being yourself. You're not being yourself. So, that was just to close that out. So for anybody that's being fraudulent out there, anybody that's using, possessions, anybody that's using money, jewelry, or anything that's fake to attract somebody into their life, to manipulate somebody, we're going to get them 2 middle fingers up, man. Be yourself. Being yourself, being true to yourself, you get thumbs up for that. Being fake and phony, you get middle fingers. This the middle finger review, y'all. But yeah, so that went on. And we had a situation with a young man. He came in there. He was getting his hair cut. I don't know what was the reasoning behind him. I think he was like 14 years old. I think his name was Kamar. And he was about to shed a tear, y'all. But he was holding on to it. He was a tough young man. He didn't shed a tear. He was just frustrated and mad. He didn't want his hair cut. But it had to come off, and, it came off. So I was just like, man, you ain't got to be ashamed to show that you hurt, to show the tears. I cry. I've cried. I've had to wipe my own tears on numerous occasions. I used to be a crybaby. My mama, my dad, even friends, man, why you crying all the time? Man, because I'm sad. Because I'm hurt. Because I feel like crying. Like, what you want me to do? Hold the tears? I couldn't. They was flowing. So ain't nothing wrong with crying, man. If you feel heartbroken over certain things, if something rubs you the wrong way, that's called being a human, man. We got a range of emotions from sadness to sorrow to happiness, to anger, to jealousy. We got all that in us. That's a part of being a human. And it's like, if you suppress those emotions, then you become, for lack of better words, inhumane. You ain't showing your humanistic side, and people feel like, if they show that vulnerability, if they show that side of them, people would take advantage of them. But if they was going to take advantage of you, they was going to do that anyway. You got to let the devil in the door. You got to open up the door for the devil. And you having a range of emotions does not open up the door for the devil. What opens up the door is you intentionally letting somebody in your life that means you harm. So, I just wanted to, anybody who's showing emotions, is healthy. Thumbs up for that. Thumbs up for that. Thumbs up for that. So, we had just got into a lot of topics. And one of the topics, was, dealing with a spiritual type situation. The spiritual side of it was, people beliefs in they higher power. And, I don't know all the answers when it comes to stuff like that. But, I just got my take on it. And my take might not make you happy, but it's my take. It's what I'm standing on. You believe in what you believe in, and you're entitled to that. But I don't. I know we've been force-fed a set of beliefs that may not belong to us, no matter how much we've adopted it and we've, you know, survived with it. For lack of better words, we survived some of the spirituality that's been placed on us, and honestly, I don't think we even know. You know, a lot of people might say, we the real Israelites and whatever you say. You know, I was challenging somebody and I was saying, you know, a lot of people feel like the root of civilization is Africa. That's what people say. You know, all my life, that's what I believe. That's where it came from. That's where it started. And I don't know that that's true. It's what we've been told. And we've been told a lot of things that aren't true. You know, at one time, we was told we are 3/5 of a human. And it was written into books and law, and that was the general consensus. But did that make it true? Now, so you got to question things. They say believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So just because you hear it, that don't mean that's the end all, because it might be true today because somebody telling it to you until you find out different. So it's like whatever sit well with your soul, whatever sit well with your soul, whatever you can get some confirmation on, that's what I like to run with. So, you know, just because you say it, you know, I might not want to argue with you at the time. So I might just, yeah, show you right. But it ain't what I'm standing on. That's for you. That's for you. And with that, I'm about to shake loose. I just wanted to try to introduce my new segment, and it's the Middle Finger Review. And as y'all can see, as time goes on, what I'm actually doing is crafting this into something. You know, I'm getting my introduction. Of course, I got my lights. I got my decor in the room. The sound is right. You know, I'm getting everything right. You see the quality is right. As far as the resolution on the videos, real crispy and clean, man. 4K all day. And I'm just trying to tie it all together. So give me a hand, man. Give me a round of applause for getting this thing together. And, you know, right now I'm still in the experimental stages of this. I'm crafting this to be something right, a delight. Because I don't want you to beat yourself. I want you to treat yourself, man. At all times, man. Get out there and be productive and treat yourself. And continue to tap in with the Let's Get To It show. Show me some love, man. It's free to show love out here. Y'all go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Y'all turn on your bell notification so when I get live, you get notified. Y'all see what's going on. And y'all leave a little comment. You know, don't be scared to say, hey, you ain't even got to say too much. You can put a smiley face if you want to, a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or a middle finger review up, man. Y'all know, 2 middle fingers for you, man, if you ain't on the right side of things, man. Y'all know what it is. But I'm about to wrap this up, man. I had a good time with y'all. You know, I ain't want to stay too long, but I did want to stay strong. So I'm about to wrap this up, but y'all know what it is. This was the Let's Get To It show. And that's a to it with you. Because I always got you in mind. So if you don't mind, let me break it down for you. Because you ain't never heard nothing like this before. So at the end of the day, it's all for you. It's really all for you. Let me get some shout outs before I get up out of here. I want to give a shout out to Sunrise Kitchen, Bath, and Closets, y'all. They doing good work out here. They transforming your homes. They making the process of remodeling simple. Simple. They got 3 locations. 3 locations. One in Chesapeake, one in Virginia Beach, and one in Hampton. And the phone number is 800-830-4605. Just in case y'all got some remodeling needs. Y'all want a bathroom put in. Y'all trying to figure something out. Y'all want them homes that you see. Sometimes you got to go in there and do it yourself. You got to go in there and fix yourself and renovate your own stuff. Make it how you want it. And that's what they doing down there at Sunrise Kitchen, Bath, and Closet. I want to give a shout out to Jamal Bryant. You know, he making noise on the comedian side of things. I want to give a shout out to Mario Button. You know, he doing this thing. I want to give a shout out for your, what's that, Listening Pleasure podcast. That's who is that? Who is that? That's Rob Gurley and Mike V over there. I'm gonna give a shout out to who else? Who else in line? Elise Pro Barbershop. That's on 368 Demi Boulevard. So with that, I'm about to wrap it up, man. Y'all know I'm King Sam the Powerful, the biggest hater this side of Texas. I talk reckless. So if you wanted the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, y'all can't handle the truth. My case is closed, court is adjourned. And that was me getting to it with the middle finger reviews, giving my unfiltered takes on everything from music to movies. That's ooh la la ah wee wee. And I'm out of here.